Hi, my name is Saul.
Hi, my name is Wendell Holland.
My name is Brandon Donlin.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Gabler, the Alligabler, coming to you live on Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on today's episode of Survivor Squared. We have a three-time player, a champion of a returnee season, a father, a family man. Mr. Jeremy Collins is coming on the show to talk all things season 50, how his experience on his prior seasons kind of is weaving its way into how season 50 is breaking down. He covered season 49 with Jeff Probst talking about Rizzo for a whole season straight, and now we're reacting to what Rizzo's doing on season 50. He also found two idols just like Genevieve, except he got to keep his idols, where Genevieve had to give hers away. What did Jeremy think Genevieve could have done differently to stay on the island? We're going through all season 50, and he does have a very interesting winner's pick at the end. Excited to talk about this show. Excited to talk about Survivor. Next week, or I should say Thursday, me and Bailey will be back to cover the latest episode of Survivor season 50. And then next week, an even bigger guest that we reveal during this conversation because she comes up naturally in it. Excited for the future of Survivor Squared. Thank you for being a part of it. If this is your first time watching or your 10th time watching, give us a like, give us a subscribe, help this channel grow because we are having a blast covering the biggest season in Survivor history. But for now, let's get to my interview with Jeremy Collins. While coming on this show may be a letdown from my guest, considering who he discussed season 49 with, today we're discussing season 50 with a three-time Survivor competitor, a winner of a returnee season, and it helps we're talking about a returnee season now. Please welcome into the show, Mr. Jeremy Collins. Come on in, Jeremy. We got a lot to talk about, my friend.
Let's go. I appreciate this. Let's go.
I'm pumped. I've been pumped to talk to you since I met you on my Survivor journey when I started watching all these seasons last year. I got to 29, and I got to see you and Val come on in a blood versus water season, probably my favorite theme of all the Survivor themes that are out there, and I immediately fell in love with so many characters on that season, you two in particular. And then to see you come back for season 31 and in season 40. I met you on season 3 of the Traitors. I was rooting for you every time, mostly because, not just because, you know, you're energetic, you got a great personality, you got the great family dynamic, the great story, but also, like me, you're a Boston boy. So let's start right there, my friend. Are you born and raised in Boston? Where'd this come from? You've always been there?
Yeah, man. I'm born and raised in Boston. Well, Cambridge, actually. I grew up in Cambridge.
Okay.
When I was born to probably 13, I was in Cambridge. And then I moved to Boston for a little bit. And then, yeah, man, that's my home, man. I love the bean. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Where are you from?
Absolutely. I miss it. I'm from Weymouth, Mass. originally. I'm born and raised in Weymouth, Mass. My whole life is in Weymouth, South Shore, next to Braintree and Quincy. And I moved out to Los Angeles right after college, and I've been here ever since. And I'm definitely an Angelino now. My blood is thin. I don't like the cold anymore. When I go home for Christmas, I'm shoveling out there. I'm like, why did I ever live through this? How did I get through it? But I do miss, and it's true, I do miss like the vibe of it, the feel of it. There is a certain like camaraderie that Bostonians have together, that we're all in this muck together, but there's also like a blue collar feeling to it where everyone does work hard and nose to the grindstone and all that other jazz. And there's a truthfulness there and an honesty there that I don't necessarily sometimes get in Los Angeles with some people. And that might get me in some trouble because I'm talking to people like I used to be in Boston, and Los Angeles is a little bit different. But
we're bluntly honest over here. Yeah, you're going to miss that over there.
No, sometimes you got to deal with people with kid gloves, and that was new to me when I moved out in California.
People from Boston, if you have a flat tire, people from Boston will yell at you and be like, why are you driving that flat tire? Blah, blah, blah. But they'll help you fix it. You know what I mean? But the people from like New York and LA, they won't help you with the tire. You know what I mean? And they're just like, oh, it's too bad you have a flat tire. And then they just keep going. You know what I mean?
They'll get mad that you inconvenience their day by having to drive around you. Yeah. That's definitely the feeling about it. But I had Wendell Holland on the show, and he runs the whole Bryson Wen Presents with all the after watch parties and stuff all throughout the country, and they're doing a bunch for season 50. And he talked about the different cities that he goes to, and he mentioned, he didn't know I was from Boston, he mentioned that like Boston is their number one city every time. They don't got to worry about selling tickets. They just got to let the people know that they're there, and the Boston people come out for a Survivor watch party. They fill the place up. They have a blast. Do you get that vibe being from Boston, being on Survivor, that Boston is really a city that loves this show?
I mean, I don't see the other cities because I only do Bryson Wendell's really. You know what I mean? I don't ever
Yeah.
go like to any of the other watch parties and stuff like that. But every time I go to Bryson Wendell's, it's packed. It's jumping, and every time we go, it's like me and Val walk in, and we're always late. You know what I mean? First of all, Val's always late. Let me get that straight. Val's always late. So we always show up right on, like right when the episode starts or slightly after the episode. And we walk in and we're like celebrities every time. Like security, I know the guys at the door all the time now. And they grab me and push everybody out the side. They're like, all right, we'll let you take a couple pictures and then we have to go. And it's like, we're like movie stars. It's crazy. Boston is wild for that. They just keep coming out for us. And Bryson went right. They're always there for the Survivor community. I love it out here.
Yeah. I've really fallen in love with it too, because as you know, I'm new to this Survivor world. This Survivor 50 is my first returnee season watching it live, and I've been now to a few Survivor watch parties out here. It's like a sports game. It's like going to Fenway. Like it is so much fun to watch everyone ooh and ah and go crazy over Survivor together. And they root for their favorites. I was there when Rizzo and Charlie were going after each other, and the vote was back and forth, back and forth. And it was so much fun to watch the live crowd react to what was going on. And is that a unique experience for you? Like being able to watch? Like I don't know if you went to the Survivor watch parties on seasons that you were on, but like is that a unique experience watching yourself on or watching other people watch you on TV?
First season, me and Val, we had in Patriot Place. So I live in Foxborough now, and in Patriot Place, they have CBS, or they had CBS Scene, and CBS Scene was a restaurant. The theme was CBS, so all the shows were CBS shows. So our first season, we actually called them and said, "Listen, we're going to be on the season. Can we have a watch party there?" And they said, "Yes, anything you need." They sent us buffs. They sent all these different things, and the place was packed. So I don't know any different, Tone. Like all I know is like right from the first episode, we get this craziness, and every season I go to, it's just crazy. So I don't know any different, brother. This is it.
So, okay, I have so many questions about Survivor 50, but since we're here, we're talking about you. You don't know any different watching yourself in a crowd on TV. Now we're in the world of being a parent and watching your kids playing sports. You have a new podcast with Val coming out talking about the kids playing sports. You have 2 kids in D1 right now in college, and also 2 kids coming up through the youth sports level. So you've gone through it once. Now you get to go through it again. You have all these insights and inputs. How does it feel watching the kids play sports, whether it's at the D1 level or at the youth sports level? Does that get the vibe going as much as the Patriot Place watch party for Survivor?
I tell you what, like, so yes, me and Val, we just started a new podcast called Mic'd In with Jeremy and Val. It's the level of the love and the compassion that you have for your kids, and you're watching them succeed. It's so emotional. You know what I mean? Like when your kid does something super great and you just feel it in your soul, like you're like a tear starts coming to your eye. There's nothing like it. You know what I mean? So it's so much better than Survivor, like watching me on TV. It's just like, I look like a fool on TV half the time. You know what I mean? Like let me tell you something, Tony. I do not watch myself after the season. I'll watch it one time, maybe twice. I watched a couple of my seasons twice. But after that, I don't watch it anymore. I don't even like to look at it. When I'm watching my kids, like I'll watch my kids' videos 30 times in a night. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like it. There's something so special watching your kids compete, and like especially in sports that I used to play, to watch them compete, and then you teach them something, and then when they do it, and the gratitude that you feel, there's nothing like it, man. I love it.
My mom was a huge, loved it, like got as anxious and as crazy and as emotional during the game. She wasn't a yeller. She wasn't yelling at the refs or anything, but she was definitely vocal in support. My dad, on the other hand, he was so unique, and it was so weird to me when I was young and my teammates what he did. But now that I get older, I understand it because I am my dad. Like I am my dad personified. He used to take one of those little fold-up chairs. Like I played soccer a lot. I played a bunch of sports, but soccer was the main one that sticks in my memory. He would go not where the sidelines were, but go in the corner, like almost where the corner kicks were, and sit off, set up the chair, and just sit there with his arms folded for the entire 90 minutes. He would not move. Didn't matter if I did well or did poorly. differently or did whatever, he would not show emotion. He would not smile. He'd give a little
Yes.
clap, good job, guys, but he wouldn't go
Yes.
crazy. And I always was like, what are you doing? Like, it's so weird. I didn't tell him this, but I was like, why does he just sit there? And I know now that I'm just getting the start of, like, even watching my friends' kids play T-ball. Like, I'm getting emotionally invested. And I'm sitting here going, like, I can't show them what's going on in here. Like, because my mind's going crazy. Yes. I need to keep level so he keeps level. And that's what he's going through. So what type of a parent are you when you watch these games?
This is a great question because in Mike Din podcast, we just had a post recently about that. Which kind of parent are you? And I think so. When my daughters were there, I was more like, this doesn't matter. None of this matters. And I was just like, going for it. When they did something good, I would clap and this and that. But now with my sons, I try to like not show anything. I try to be like, so one of my sons in particular, he's super fast. The kids, he's gone. You know what I mean? He's gone. He gets the ball and he's gone. And he'll do something and everybody on the sideline is screaming and I'm standing there just like this. And parents will come up to me and say, like, how are you like that? And I'm like, I mean, like, I don't want to show this kid any, enthusiasm. I want to show him like, listen, you got work to do. You know what I mean? So I try to bring it in. Inside though, I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean? But yeah, like there are different types of parents. I think I try to be that guy. I try to be cool and calm. But every once in a while, I like give them like, They had a big game this past weekend. It was a flag football tournament, and it's a huge tournament, and it's the best team in New England, and the team that they were going against, they go back and forth, and I was like, and we didn't have our whole team, so I'm sitting there like, come on, dude, we got to pick this thing up, and we go down 7-0 and I'm pacing now. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're going to lose this game. And then we go on a run and we crushed them. And I'm just like, I'm so pumped up about it,
From the son's perspective, looking back, every once in a while, give the the little you got this kid, and that'll be all I'll need. That'll be all the kid will need. Let's move though into Survivor. You are the Survivor winner. You're a Survivor expert. You've played for 3 seasons. You've talked about seasons. You have an in-depth knowledge of season 49 because you covered that season with Jeff. I want to touch on season 50 that just happened. We just had the Blood Moon episode. 3 players were eliminated. First ever 3 tribals that went down. And there were some fans online that believe some of these twists, some of these moments were unfair to some of the players. It's Survivor. Luck is going to be a part of it. The draw of a split is going to be a part of it. Ozzy's lucky to find that, or I should say Rizzo's lucky that Ozzy found the clue to get them on exile and he chose Rizzo. Like, luck comes in waves on that. But from your perspective, the unluckiest person to me is Genevieve for what happened to her, because on season 31, Jeremy, you found multiple idols and used multiple idols to help further your game. Kelly Wentworth's doing the same thing on her side, where she's playing her idols to the best of her ability to further her game. Yes, it puts a target on your back, but it also gives you that ultimate safety if you use it correctly to protect yourself or allies. Genevieve should be one of the names in the hallowed halls of those who found 2 idols on one season. But because this season has this boomerang twist where she has to send it to someone else, that it might come back to her, a twist that me and Bailey defended. I like the idea of this twist, but now that we're seeing it play out, Genevieve found 2 and was still powerless at the end. How do you feel had that went down? Could she have played it any differently? Because I don't think she could have.
I feel for her because she did find it and she had to she had to send him away. I think she did what she can do. Like, Survivor is half of it's luck. You know what I mean? Like, I look at it like when I played on my season that I won, I don't think I was the best player. You know what I mean? Like, I got lucky. You know what I mean? If I got a little bit more lucky in my first season, I win that one. You know what I mean? In the third season, I win that one. So, like, I feel like luck is a part of the game. I feel for her that luck wasn't on her side this time. But she did what she had to do. She played the game the best way she could. I think that the only thing differently is for my second chance season, there was people that I didn't want to play with. I didn't want to play with Fishback. You know what I mean? Like, Fishback. Mm-hmm. So a little behind the scenes, Fishback in his podcast, he was talking about Val and talked about me and stuff, and I didn't like it. And I'm like, yo, like, you don't know me, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell me how I play my game, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't want to play with him. And when I got out there, he was nervous and he didn't want to talk to me. And it was one day I just went up to him and I started talking to him. And I was like, yo, I get him. I like the guy. You know what I mean? And and we worked together. And I think that's what Genevieve needed to do. I think at some point you need to take somebody that you don't play well with and play with them. And good things happen. You know what I mean? I think if my first season, if I only worked with Josh, me and Josh, we were on opposite tribes. And we were battling and battling. And I was the leader of mine. He was the leader of his. And when I took him out, I said, I got it. Like, I'm going to win this game. And the next day, I was gone. And I just think that maybe if I said, Josh, like, why are we going against each other? I feel like I'm the best on my team. I feel like you're the best on your team. Why don't we just combine this and, like, get some of the other people out and let's work together. And I think we would have went to the end. I really do. I think we could have done some really good things. So I think that's what Genevieve should have done with Aubrey.
You got to cross those party lines sometimes. You know, you got to make amends
really
and work with other people.
I feel so strongly about that on Survivor. Even in season 50, I tried to work with some of these people that didn't want to work with me. Like I saw it. I was like, they don't want to work with me, but I tried to work with them, and it just, they didn't want to do it and it wouldn't work. Season 31, it was beautiful how much cross playing we played. It was so fun. And I remember, so Kelly, I wrote Kelly's name down, and Kelly saved herself with the idol. And I walked up to her and I said, Kelly, that was so cool what just happened last night. I said, let's work together, yo. And she was like, let's go. You know what I mean? There was no hard feelings, and we could work together. And then the next day, we worked to get somebody out. And the next day, I'm not working with you again. Like, I'm working with somebody else. And it was so fun. It's a train wreck. You know what I mean? It's a lot, but it's just a fun way to play. And just like, I don't know, like, I think that's the best way to do it, you know?
I want to touch on that because I was thinking about that when I had you on here. That season 31, that whole voting blocks motif, it was starting to see it a little bit in the seasons leading up to that, but season 31 really named it and said, this is what's going to happen this season. And the whole season is chaos in a beautiful way if you're watching, because there is constant shifting and no one knows where you're going until the end. And I feel like that voting blocks mentality has been a huge trait of the new era. There are alliances, of course, but there's a lot of cross-pollination and people floating around to try and backstab people and get people on their resume and further their game and be the one from the alliance that moves forward. Season 50, though, we're seeing very much an old school mentality of alliances being formed. The Rick Devens, Christian Emily thing, they're sticking together. They're bringing in Ozzy. They may have floated away for one season, and it's a big storyline to bring them all back together. And then on the other side, Colby is gone now, but we have Colby, Coach, Steph, Joe, Jonathan, these old school Chrissy type players coming together. So why do you think season 50 is sort of going more alliance heavy and like drawing the line in the sand versus the floating amorphous voting blocks world?
You see, I don't know. I think that in this season, there's those legendary names that the coach, the Ozzy, Kobe, those are legendary names, and I think people want to work with them, and that's their game. So like they're gonna go along with their game. In Second Chance, we had some big names and everything, but it was so fluid that everyone could roll like that. And then in season 40, huge legendary names. I feel like the people that weren't as legendary, like Michelle, me and Michelle, we were like, we'll take them out. Like, I'm not worried about their big name. You know what I mean? So we were willing to do the flowing back and forth, as opposed to the old school legendary names are sticking to their alliance. My middle ages of Survivor, we are really fluid. You know what I mean? We're not old school and we're not new school, but we're so fluid that we want to go either way, and we don't care about the old school. Like, we feel like we are just as, famous. You know what I mean? We're just as legendary, you know? So we don't care about them. And the new school don't have anything on us. So I feel like we could just go anyway. But you see, there's nobody on in my middle ages on this season. Do you see that?
Yeah, I was interested in how this cast came to be, because we have, I mean, I think the legends that they had, like the Colbys, the Cerise, the Aussies, perfect names to throw in here, the coaches. And then it jumps a huge gap to like Chrissy and like the rest of the new era people. And they do miss a real strong section of middle. Some of my favorite seasons are those middle seasons. David vs. Goliath had 3 players on there. I'm not going to say they shouldn't be on there, but it's definitely like we took a whole chunk of seasons and threw them out the window when it came to this season 50 cast. And I'm not sure what the necessary plan was for that, if Survivor was kind of hoping for a game to go a certain way, but they're definitely getting those names, like you said, those legends are really, they're on hallowed grounds when it comes to season 50. And that did not happen in season 40, like you said. It was very much these new school winners on season 40 are trying to take out the big names so they can fight amongst themselves. And it worked perfectly for all of you. Like, you all did it the way you should, and then you fought to the end on season 40. This season 50, though, this new era tribe, these new era players, the 12 of them that were on there, they're getting picked apart left and right. And even the 2 new era players that want to play with honor and integrity, Joe and Jonathan, have now drifted fully over to the Colby coach, the legend status. And I feel like the Tiffs, like Camilla and Genevieve last night, the Tiffanys, the Emilys out there, they're going to get picked apart, even D, because they're losing the battle of getting that huge army on your side. Christian mentioned it in last night's episode. He's talking about the army that you need, the soldiers that you need to fight, and the new era's losing it. And I don't know why that is. Do you think any of those old era players, none of them are former winners like they were on Winners at War, but do you think they saw season 40 and said, I may not like Ozzy. If I'm Sari, me and Ozzy may have had a fight in the past. Or Coach, like me and Colby had a fight on Heroes vs. Villains last time we saw each other. We're good now because we're on here together. We're of the same age. We're of the same ilk. We need to stick together. We can't let what happened on season 40 happen to us. Do you think that's in their minds when they're going into this?
I do. I think that when you play, like, everyone thinks this is your last time playing now, right? So if you did something before, we're not doing that again because we didn't win. That didn't help us. We have to change our game. And I feel like that's how you have to go through with this new game. I think that when you have to fix your error. That was the biggest thing every follow-up season that I've played. You have to fix your error that you made, and that's why you didn't win. You know what I mean? When I did win and I came back, I said, I'm going to do the same thing that I always did. Like, I won, so I'm going to do it again, and it didn't work out. But so let me tell you this: I was talking about this the other day. I said, I think maybe you change it every single time you come out and play. I think if you lose, you come back and you play a whole different game. I think if you win, you come back and you play a whole different game because they're expecting you to play the same way. So you have to zig when everyone else expects you to zag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
I think that this season is I think I'm having a great time watching it. I do think it's going to switch. I think that at some point the new players are going to have to take it their route and get rid of some of these legends. You know what I mean? Because that has to be a thing that what they're talking about. It has to be you cannot go to the end with Sari. You cannot go to the end with Ozzy. You know, that has to be a topic of conversation at all times. You know what I mean? So
I think you're right.
I think that some things are going to switch up.
I think there has to be some moves being made. And it's interesting, you brought up how, like, even if you lose, even if you win, you got to change. You try to fix the errors that were there. You talked about season 49 with Jeff Probst. You watched every episode. You recapped every episode. So you saw firsthand Rizzo's first season, a season that none of the people on Survivor 50 had seen walking onto this island. Rizzo had only 9 days to adjust anything he did from season 49 to season 50. So how do you think the man, the myth, the legend, a man who wants to put his name in the Mount Rushmore of Survivor players, he wants to walk the walk and talk the talk. I love the bravado. How do you feel Rizzo's done over his 1.5 seasons of Survivor here, and what do you think he could possibly change in his game to kind of evolve it a little bit?
When I watched Rizzo on 49, I loved Rizzo. I was like, this dude is exciting. He's having fun. The biggest thing is you do have to have fun out there. Like if it's all business, you're going to crash and burn. So you have to have fun. And Rizzo is having fun more than anything. I will say this. Michael Jordan's the best player ever to play the game, right? To play basketball. Michael Jordan's the greatest. Michael Jordan doesn't say he's the greatest. You know what I mean? Rizzo needs to stop saying that he wants to be the greatest. You don't, like, you gotta crawl before you walk, Rizzo, and just chill out on that. Like, let your game speak for itself. When you're all said and done, then people might say, "Oh, you're the best." You know what I mean? Now, I do think Rizzo's playing really good. I feel like he's on everybody's plan, and he's playing a great game. Now, saying that, if everybody wants to play with you, they all feel like they could beat you at the end, and that's not good. So I feel like Rizzo, there's something about Rizzo that everybody's like, oh, I want to play with him because I will beat him at the end when we get to the end. And so he has to do something big. If he could keep moving along and then blow up the game and put a stamp on it and make a huge move, maybe two, and then have a nice speech at the end, then I think he could pull it off. But it's not good when everybody wants to play with you. No, not everybody should want to play with you. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting way to think about it. I hadn't thought about that before. And I do think, like you said, those new era players, like when you start to look at the end, you don't want to sit next to Sari, but you might want to have Sari on your resume. Like I was the one that sent Sari home. And so maybe Rizzo sees some of these opportunities because he is getting in bed with all these legends. If Colby wasn't voted out, Colby's working with Rizzo too. So like, would Rizzo sit back and say, you know, I used to be a huge wrestling fan, and there was a character in wrestling called Randy Orton. He called himself the Legend Killer, and he would go through all of these old, like Ric Flair, Undertaker, and he was the one to beat him because he was the next guy. Rizzo could be the Legend Killer on season 50. It's there. The opportunity is there, and I'd be excited to see him take that on.
Rizzo Orton, huh?
Exactly. I'm sure he would love that. And also, I understand you're not supposed to call yourself the best. I was 25 once, Jeremy. I thought I was the hottest thing in the world.
That's true. That's true. I do forget how young he is. That is a good point. That is a good point. Because like when I was a kid, I thought I was the greatest, you know. So, all right. Point taken. Point taken. I forget how young he is.
And I also, speaking on Rizzo, I loved season 49. It was unfair to them that stuff was kind of leaked, who was going to be on 50 and all that stuff. So it was kind of unfair to the fans. Didn't really appreciate that season for what it was, because I think what Savannah, Sophie, and Rizzo did was heroic in a way. They were able to battle back and stay together to the end. The one thing I think we were robbed of, though, is Rizzo sitting in that final three with the rest of the Tres Leches Alliance, because I wanted to see how the jury thought of his game, because we saw all the idol throwing around. We saw him talking to camera, the confessionals he gave. We saw him as the fun-loving guy. Did the jury take him seriously? And like you said, if everyone wants to work with you, they think they can beat you in the end. I wanted to hear Rizzo's pitch versus Savannah and Sophie and see who won out of those three. I still think Savannah played the best game, but it would have been fun to watch how the jury felt about Rizzo versus how the TV audience feels about Rizzo. Did you get that sense at all covering the show?
I did. So I actually thought Sophie was gonna run away with it at the end. You know what I mean? I thought she was gonna just clear it out. But I did think I saw Rizzo and his, like, you do want to show the camera that you're having fun and have your interviews, but you do need to let everybody else know what you're doing in pieces. You know, you don't want to be too much that they're like, that's the biggest threat. He got to go. But you do have to throw it out there here and there. You know what I mean? So I didn't get the feeling that everybody knew what he was doing. I felt like it was just us as fans that were hearing all this. So he has to fix that on this season. If he could just throw little breadcrumbs of like, this is what I'm doing, then he should be all right. But he's in bed with everybody, so he might be all right. You know what I mean? he has a really good, clear path right now.
There's a couple of clear paths forming. Now we're down to 14 people, and there's a couple of, now that we've seen the Aubrey versus Genevieve thing was a story Survivor was telling from the premiere. So we knew that that was coming to a head. And now that that's over, now that Charlie versus Rizzo is over, like those early battles have been won. Now we really have 14 people, and there's clear lines merging on one side versus the other and how we're going to run to the finish. Jonathan moving to the old era side is a huge move in shifting the tectonic plates of this season, because I don't believe the voting blocks are coming. I do believe we're having hard lines in the sand. But having said that, you're the one that's watched this whole thing. You can maybe see the future a little bit, read the tea leaves because you've played it so much. With the way it's set up right now, every one of these players is either in the final or in the jury. So who do you think comes out with the victory here? Who do you think has the best clear path to win season 50?
Okay, so you say that, I played, I see the tea leaves. I do want to tell you, every time I pick somebody, they lose. Every single time. So, I hate to do this. Because, so Charlie, I thought Charlie was going to pull this thing off. I said, this is Charlie's season. And then I said, Camilla this is her season. She's by herself, she doesn't have her number one with her. Now they're going to let her go and she's going to fly, So I hate to do this to you, but Devins is my pick right now. Sorry, Devins. I apologize, man. I'm sorry because now you're gonna lose. But so this is what I'm thinking. So first, let me throw. D is playing great. I think D has a really good shot. But in my mind, you always want to have a meat shield, right?
Yeah.
And right now, Devins has Christian right in front of him, and Christian is doing everything. He's so talkative and so funny, and he has him right in front of him. So as soon as Christian is gone, Devins can move right on and finish this thing off. And that's who I think has a good shot at taking it. I'm sorry, Devins. I apologize now. He's going to be the next one gone now.
Especially in a season like this, where they're going to start drawing their arrows back and pointing it at the biggest targets. Christian is a huge target, and Devin's using him, hiding right behind him. I think that's absolutely the case. And Emily, too. Emily's kind of all over the place, not my favorite style of play, but she's hiding behind those shields as well because no one suspects her coming from behind here.
I would say this, Emily, I would have got rid of her a long time ago. The first time that, I give her some information and she goes and tells somebody and then comes back and apologizes, I'm like, I can't work like this. You know what I mean? I can't believe that they're keeping her around. I thought for sure they would get rid of her and that's what she did last time, her last season. She did the same thing. So I'm like, I couldn't have that. I need more stability. You know what I mean? I need more It's hectic out there as it is. You know what I mean? It's so crazy and your mind is running. And then just to have a wild card like that, you never want that on your team. You want that out there. Don't get me wrong. You want that over on their tribe. You know what I mean? I always say Abby Maria should be on every single season of Survivor. Every season. Because outside Survivor, she's a great person. I talk to her she's wonderful. I love Abby. She knows I love her, But in the season, oh my God, she is just beautiful. You know what I mean? And you just let her go, and you could say one thing to her, and she'll just run off and go crazy. Now it couldn't come back at you, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful train wreck. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that might be the answer to my next question, but I'll start off by saying, Jeremy, I usually don't do this. I usually keep it under the hood. I keep it quiet, but because you brought her up, guess who next week's guest is? Miss Abby Maria herself is coming on the show.
Is that right?
We got to talk. Yes, I swear to God. I can't wait to talk to her. I've been setting this interview up just like you. I've been setting this interview up for months. I can't wait to talk to Abby Maria. She's slated to come on
Make sure you
next
tell
week.
her I said this. Abby knows I love her.
Absolutely.
Me and Abby are so cool. She's actually, I don't talk to a ton of people on Survivor.
Yeah.
I talk to, I have a few people that I talk to, Tony Vlachos. I talk to him twice a week. I talk to him all the time. I talk to him too much, I talk to Nat. I talk to so many people all the time, and Abby's one of those people that I talk to once every few months. And so like she's such a good person, a good
She
kind
is.
heart.
Yeah.
But when she gets out there, oh, make sure you talk to her about when she gets out there. It's beautiful when she gets out there.
I'm excited. I've been excited to talk about her since I met her on her season. And yeah, we've had a lot of talks offline. She's genuinely a good person. She lives in my neighborhood, or her boyfriend's family lives in my neighborhood. So like she's a good gal. And I'm excited to talk to her about Survivor. Speaking of her, though, and speaking of Natalie, as you brought her up, you were on season 3 of Traitors. I actually watched Traitors before I even dove into this world of Survivor. Obviously, a completely different atmosphere, the way they shoot the show, the way that show is presented, and the power that you have in that show. Really no power at all if you are a faithful, where you could get taken out through no fault of your own in the dark of night here. But A, how was your experience on that show? And B, watching Natalie, if you watched season 4, how do you think Natalie did in her version of the Traitors? Did you give her any tips before she went out there?
Traitors was wonderful. Like they treat you great. You know what I mean? They take care of you. They're worried about your mental. Your mental health is huge, because when you get out there, it is all day. It is tribal council. You know what I mean? It's a lot. And then when you get to the round table, Tony, you could feel it. The first round table, when they were picking the traitors,
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
feel it. You could feel the tension. I'm pretty calm most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, Jeremy, like, chill out, dude. Like, you're not even a traitor, chill out. And you could feel the tension in you. It's so wild. It's such a great game to play. I thought Nat did awesome. I told her before she went out, I said, Nat, you're not going to win. So just go out and think that way right away. You're not going to win, right? And I tell this to everybody. Everybody's Survivor. I'd say when you go out Survivor, you're not going to win either. But I said, Nat, you're not going to win. But just have fun with it and try to relax, because I told her about the level of tension that you're gonna go through and everything, and the stress level. But I said, just have fun with it. You know what I mean? It's just a game, and who cares what happens? But I thought she did great. She crushed it. It was wonderful. So people ask me, like, who do I think I should see play Traitors? From the Survivor world. And my number one is Abby Maria. I think she will be great. I think she'll be a train wreck. I think she'll be so paranoid. I think she could be a traitor, but I think that they would keep her on because she'd be so crazy, And
it'd be awesome.
I have one more person that I think Kelly Wentworth is so smart and strategic, and she kind of knows all these games now. I think she would do a really good job. I think she could be a traitor, and I think she would do. But I want everybody to have a shot. If you play Survivor, I want you to get on Traitors. Like, Traitors is so fun, and it's just a different game, but it's just like it's a good time out there. It's just so stressful.
It looks like it.
Oh my God, Tony, it's so good, man. I had such a good time.
Watching those early seasons of Survivor, even like the middle, the teen seasons, I'm watching people at some points truly suffer. Like, the rain doesn't stop falling on you guys and your hands are going crazy. Like, you guys are actually out there really struggling. When I watch Traitors, everyone is having fun. Yes, it's stressful, and yes, there's times where like everyone's coming after you, but you're dressed in these lavish outfits. You're in this beautiful castle. Like, you guys, it's like you're reenacting a play, and you guys you can tell the joy in everyone's faces, even when the shit's hitting the fan. There, you can tell how much fun these people are having. That's what makes Traitors so fun to watch. I'm
Especially
excited
Survivors.
for it.
Survivors are like, we've been through this, but now we're clothed and warm and dry, and we have a belly full of food. Like, dude, we could do this all day. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You get a full breakfast every time you walk in.
But Tony,
one last,
the food is not good.
No,
the food, it's awful, man. It is absolutely awful. The food is so bad. There was one day they brought out a plate of chicken, like a tray of chicken. And the only way, it was chicken breast. The only way they made this is they took them out, put them in a pan. No seasoning, no sauce, nothing, right? And they shoved it in the oven for about, I'd say, 11 minutes too long. Pulled it out and put it in front of us. It was dry. It was awful, man. It was so bad. The food's so bad, man. But they do take care of you go back to the hotel and they'll give you food at the hotel. The hotel food is delicious. It's so bad, man. And one thing that they do say, right? So I say to them, like, I'm a candy guy, right? Like before I went on Survivor, I was addicted to candy. Like I would eat candy at night and not know how many I ate till the next morning when I woke up and all the rappers were around. Like I was that bad, right?
Yeah.
And I told them while I was out there, I said, just give me some candy and I'll be good. You don't have to worry about me. I'm fine. Just some candy here and there. And every time I went back to the hotel, I had different candy, like all over, coming from the ceilings of the hotel room. Like just candy flowing everywhere. It was wonderful. They took care of me.
They really played to all your vices on Traitors.
Yeah.
Last question, because again, we talked about the podcast, you covering both the youth sports and the D1 college angle, and you when you won your season in season 31, it was talking about family. You were driven by family. Like that was your whole entire world. That was your directive, your North Star, and that family visit still is one of the best family visits out there. And I feel like San Juan del Sur has such a special place in my heart to me because it is a new season, it's new people, but that blood versus water theme does so much for the viewer. Like I know that you and Val are together. I can see the relationship immediately. I don't need to have a couple of episodes to get to know you. I know who all these people are because they're either twins or their father-daughter or their father and son or their boyfriend-girlfriend. Like that relationship tells me so much. And I love blood versus water as a Survivor theme. I wish they would do it again and again and again, especially with new people. I talked to Wendell, who just had a son, and I talked to him jokingly, like, would he ever want to play a blood versus water when his son's old? And he's like, I don't know, I might be too old. He starts stretching. Would you ever want to do a blood versus water season with either one of your D1 athletes or one of the youngins coming up? Do you think that would be a fun atmosphere, or do you think it wouldn't work out?
Now that I did some Traitors, I feel like I'm spoiled and I can't sleep outside anymore. Like I can't do that. But looking at my kids, I think one of my daughters, my daughter Cameron, she plays basketball. She's the only one that I think can do it. But I don't think that if she doesn't eat, she's going to be grouchy. I feel like, which would be good for my game because when she's gone, I could go on and win. You know what I mean? Like, I'll share my money with you, Cam, but like I want you out of here, you know? Oh, let me tell you this little story, Tony, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to get on Survivor for years, for 10 years. I was trying to get on, and I would do my videos, and I was cocky. I was like, yo, I'm gonna beat everybody in the challenges and this and that. And for 10 years, they would call me back and say, okay, and then ghost me 10 years straight. So I got a little older and I was like, I'm ready to play now. I'm not going to win all these challenges, but I can do this, this, and this. They told me then, oh, you're ready. You're ready to be a survivor now, right? So they send me off to LA and they say, who would I bring because we're doing a blood versus water season? Who would I bring? And I'm like, I need to bring somebody that I will listen to me and I'll beat and I'll blow them. I could just go on and win the game. So I actually brought my little brother. I had my little brother come up to LA with me. We did all the interviews, right? And after you have to pass 4 interviews basically. And after I think the second interview it was, they pulled us in the room and said, all right, it's not going to work. My brother David, they said, you're going to be going home, but Jeremy, who else would you bring? And
wow.
I said, all right, my wife would be really good at this, but I don't want to bring sand to the beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, I'm trying to win this thing. You guys kept me here for 10 years on ice, and now I'm going to bring someone that's going to beat me, right? So when they called her up on the phone, and they said, you're perfect. Like, you'll be great. And they called me and said, you think you're slick. You kept her from it. You think you're slick. And I'm like, yo, I'm not bringing her so she could beat me. Like, what do you think this is? You know what I mean? So I will bring someone, if I'm on with one of my kids, I'm going to bring one of them that I will beat. You know what I mean? Like one of my sons, like my son Remy, Like he'll just go out there, run around, and play, and he'll go all the way to the end. You know what I mean? Like not a care in the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring him. He would vote me out in a second. Lennox would vote me out in a second. You know? I want to
this
bring
right
Cameron.
here. This right here is the start of Cameron's villain origin story. She's going to see this podcast and remember it. She's going to put it in the back of her mind and say, I'll show you. And we'll get to that beach and they'll play it on the CBS recap. And they'll be like, well, back in 2026. Oh, yeah. Man, I think you're in trouble now, Jeremy. Oh man, but again, I love that is such the vibe because I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I would want to bring someone that I think I would be because if I brought my sister, she's much more cutthroat than I am. I'd kind of be scared that she would be coming after me. So it's always interesting. I never thought that we
you
would
have to
be
find
like
somebody that you can beat, man. You don't want to bring somebody that's going to beat you. You know.
I also don't want to bring. I don't want to bring someone because, again, I come from a big Italian family. We do love each other, but there's a lot of layers before you get to the love. And I feel like depending on the people I brought, they might be like, I'm going to get Tony out first. Like I'd be able to, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, I'd be able to hold that over his head for the rest of my life. Who cares about everyone else? I'm getting my brother out first, so I gotta be careful on who I think about. Oh, man, Jeremy, I don't want to take up too much of your time. This was an absolute blast talking to you about everything Survivor 50, a little bit about Traitors, about Blood versus Water. Have so much fun with the new podcast. Well, it's called Mic'd In again? Is that the name of it?
Mic'd In Pod with Jeremy and Val. Everybody go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun, a lot of big names that we're trying to pull on and just trying to bridge the gap between, youth sports and parenting and, recruiting and, college sports, NIL, all that stuff. We do from anywhere between youth sports and NIL money and everything in between. It's going to be fun. It's a lot of fun.
An absolutely crazy, crazy world. And I'm happy you guys have the expertise to come in just because you've experienced it, both with now college athletes and the athletes going through youth sports. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear you and Val talk about it because it was so much fun watching you two in the little time we had with you two together in San Juan del Sur. Excited to have you on the show. Excited to continue to talk to you about Survivor and excited to tell Abby Maria all the things we said about her on this show. But until then, on Thursday, me and Bailey Buffs will be breaking down the next episode. 14 people are left of Survivor Season 50. And then again on Monday, Abby Maria joins the show. But for Jeremy, for myself, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.